introduce you guys, and then we'll get started. Just be live. Cool.
Cool.
Hey everyone, thanks for joining in once again. Um, and today we have the design meetup with, and it will be hosted by Vinit and Averal. Vinit and Averal are the design leads at BlueLearn. They design posters, thumbnails, the website, the app, and all sorts of stuff for BlueLearn. And yeah, today we've called them. They'll be giving you an overview of how the whole process looks like, what they do at BlueLearn, how they design stuff. And at the end of this whole thing, we'll be taking questions by calling some of you on the stage or from text as well. Um, Vinit, maybe you can give a short introduction of yourself as well.
Okay, cool. So I'm Vinit. I just graduated this year from PCC Goa, and I work as a product designer at BlueLearn. And April,
Okay. I'm Avril. I'm the visual designer for BlueLearn. So I designed the social media posts that you see on Instagram, Twitter, thumbnails, that. And I also help out with the website designing. I'm also UI designer, and I also graduated from PCC Goa this year.
cool. Ah, so I'll tell you how we start. So the way we start is you always start with listening from the community, listen from your users what they want, or you see take their feedback. Or the one way you do it is you see how they use your product, you see how they use the website, and see what they like most, where they click, where they which pages are viewed the most, and accordingly you decide what are the next steps for your product, what are the next steps for your app. So right now some of you guys might know, we are working on an app. So that is what me and Avril have been spending our most of our times on. So so there are many features on the app which we can work on, right? We can work on this, that, and that, but we need to somehow, like minimalize it first. See, shorten down the list and finalize features which we can actually work on, which is feasible for the tech, which is feasible for operations, which is feasible for the design, and which can be done in the most efficient way. So suppose we have five features, A, B, C, D, E. We will pick two features, B and D, and then we'll run tests on them. We'll run user tests. We'll see which are most useful for the users. Say for in our case, the events is the most useful thing for us. Our events and all our community events or anything. So we will start working on a very basic design of an app where which will only show events, and then where users can maybe add events to their calendar and all. So all of this is done in a brainstorming session. All of us meet together on the Google Meet call, or uh, in a hall where we are working together, and we brainstorm for like nice 2 3 hours, weigh pros and cons of each and every feature and see what is going to work. Tech team is involved, operations is involved, design is involved, and we pick top two features, top one feature, and start working on it. And then once we've decided which features we're going to work on, then in depth, each and every team, like the design team, will start working on its inside that feature, what are the sub features we can work on, and accordingly, like, coordinate with the tech team and see what is feasible for them and come up with the optimal timeline or the whole schedule. And that's how we work. Then me and Avril will work on the designs. We'll first sketch it out on notebook, show it to the whole team. And once everyone is on the same page, everyone agrees to it, then we give it to then we start working on a high some that's so the sketches are called low fidelity mockups. And then we start working on something called a high fidelity mockup, that is on Figma. So on Figma, we work on proper spacing, colors, and buttons, and proper designs, and those are given to the tech team. Now, tech team where Keenan, Darshil, and Ishan, they take the designs. If they have some changes to it, they will add it. Like, they will ask us to do it, or they just go ahead and start coding it. And and then after that whole product building process is done, it's still not over yet. Now comes the main challenge. You give it out to users to test it. right? You want to see if what you've built is actually gonna work or not. So you give it out to first beta testers. Ask them how. You see how. So you observe them use the app. You see how they use it, where they face difficulties, where they get confused, or which part they found very easy to navigate and all. And you note it down, and then again make changes, make iterations, and then again build another version of the app. And then this is the whole app building process or the website building process. Yeah. After you wanna.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll just give you my thought process as how I go about designing pages and even posters or social media posts. I just want to fit like as much relevant info about. Suppose I'm launching a club, so I would want to feed whatever info I want into one, so the user, whoever is going to come across the page, knows like what is going to happen, what when he clicks this button, what would happen. So yeah, that would be the main thing. And then apart from that, the visuals are important. So I try to make whatever I'm working on, I try to make it look pretty and visually appealing. Same goes for Instagram posts. So you can't just throw up any info here and there and just post it. You have to follow the rules. Look how how people will go about reading the post. Like, is it easily readable? Can you read the small text? Can you read the big text? So yeah, that is how I would go about it.
So from my side, I mostly use a notebook and a pencil, and then software-wise, it's Figma only. And there's many other softwares, like some people who don't want to use a mobile notebook and a pencil, they could use software like Whimsical and all to draw wireframes because that software is also pretty easy to navigate. But I prefer using a notebook and a pencil most of the times, like 70-80% you'll see me with a notebook and a pencil only. For April,
Like before starting out on Figma or Canva, so yeah, I also use Canva for like quick designs if I need them. So I'll start out with sketching for most of the website work. Like posters, I directly go about on Canva or Figma because I have the idea in my head. But otherwise, I'll sketch it out and like on a with a pencil and a paper, and then go about Figma and Canva.
Cool. So now that the audience has a brief idea about what these guys do, um, you guys can just raise your hands and then we can let you on the stage. Um, cool. I've asked a couple of people. Cool. Hey Lokesh.
Hello,
Hey
am
man.
I audible?
Yep.
Yeah, cool. So I've been starting with my graph.
Just before starting, one rule that we have is just one question per person, so that everyone gets a chance. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Go ahead.
Cool. Okay. So I've been starting with my graphic design, and it has been about a month or two. And I used to make flat images and illustrations. Now I want to get started with the UI UX. So in Figma, like how would you suggest to start my journey? Like, should I make mock-ups of the existing apps, or should I come up with any new ideas, or how to start with the whole process for UX UI?
okay. So if you Figma as a software is very easy to learn. You can learn Figma the software in 30-40 minutes, and you'll know 50-60% of the software proficiently. So the software part is not something you need to be worrying about. What you need to worry about is getting used to the design sense and getting used to how users scan through the website. So there is a particular pattern in which users, normally 90-95% of the users just scan through websites. So you need to get used to that. And then things like color psychology, which colors appeal to users, what kind of users, what kind of demographic. And even there are in just under UI UX, there are these niches like graphic design, typography. So the type of font you use also really matters. So these things you learn as you practice, I would say. As you practice, as you perform tests, as you conduct user feedbacks, they will give you their experience of using your product. And you learn how to get this works, this doesn't work, and then accordingly you make changes, and that's how you learn mostly. But for you to get started, I would say there are plenty just to get started. Okay, there are plenty of resources online. You could just you know what we
Yeah.
on our Instagram we just launched like posted a roadmap to UI UX. Also, you could go through that where we have put resources like YouTube resources or design resources. It's a very detailed guide, I would say, if you
Okay.
want to start. And on if you just want to keep learning, then on YouTube there's this guy called Misco or DevEd or there are many of these guys who just keep giving or Flux. There's this guy called Flux Academy or Future Academy. They keep spewing out tips, and you just keep absorbing these tips again and again, and after a point you just get used to it, and every time you design anything you subconsciously you have those in mind and accordingly you design. So I would say the key is to just practice and keep reading and keep watching videos.
So, if I start according to you, are you asking me to launch my or post my this thing into Dribble or Behance? Because I'm already doing that, but I don't get much of responses. So, if you're stating about the experiences of the user, so it's not in a large scale for me. So, uh, how
Okay.
to
Uh,
tackle that?
Okay, so I recently I design landing pages for myself, like for my practice. So I recently started uploading them on Behance, like just for the fun of it. So don't worry about the response or the impressions that you get. If you like doing it, just do it. Practice as much as you can. Make random landing pages, websites. Like I did it. I didn't have a specific goal. I just wanted to make a landing page for a flower shop. So I went ahead with it. I did a landing page and I just posted it. So don't worry about the impressions you get on Behance or any other site. Just if you like it, just go with it.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much. Like, if I
Yeah.
have much more questions, but one question per person. Fine. Thank you.
Yeah, you could always text me on Instagram or something or LinkedIn.
Oh, yeah, I had already texted. Okay, thank you. Bye bye.
Okay.
Yeah, hi guys. I just have a doubt. For designing the UI, we can do in Adobe XD and Figma, right? So after this, we complete the designing in the Figma. We have to convert the design into a HTML CSS, right? So how do you guys do that? Should a developer start visually see the designs and start coding from the scratch, or is there any tool or plugins can be used in Figma or Adobe XD so that it can be automatically converted into HTML and CSS?
So Figma, I'm not really sure about Adobe XD, but Figma actually does have a CSS converter where your components can be converted to HTML and CSS. But it's if you get proficient, like even if you have like 2 3 months or not 2 3 months, but even 6 months of experience in coding HTML CSS, converting designs into pure code HTML CSS JavaScript based design, it's very easy. It shouldn't be that difficult. But I would say just practice build converting manually rather than finding solutions that give you ready-made converters. That would be a better option.
Yeah, that's a good solution only, but still feeling lazy. I just wanted to know whether some tools are available like that one. But I tried
I
and but only the CSS part came. I didn't get the HTML part.
exactly. Yeah, so Figma does have a CSS part, but um uh, it doesn't have the HTML part. There
So
are
for
some
yeah, yeah,
there
yeah.
are some softwares, but I'm not aware of that.
Okay, okay, okay. So for the developers, they have to start doing from the scratch, right? Visually looking at the designs.
That is the better way. I see currently as of now, if there was anything like that, that would completely put all the developers obsolete. That would make all of the developers obsolete.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
there is as of now. There are, even if there are, they'll be a little shabby at what they do. But and just designing plain landing pages is not just it's just 10% of the website, right? There needs to have it needs to have some functionality to it. It needs to have some submit and extra like post and get response and all from the JavaScript and all. That can never be done using Figma, right? So that whole functionality, the backend needs to be always coded manually.
Yeah, I can understand.
Yeah.
But just for the UI sake, I was asking the question. Yeah, thank you.
Just for UI sake, you can always Canva has something, right? I'm not sure, but Canva allows you to post website, like you just design on Canva and post it and share. Oh, Notion is pretty good example for that. You can design a lot of stuff on Notion and just send the link to it as a website.
Oh,
I
Notion. Oh,
also pretty static websites where you just have to like you're just building like a gallery or something and not very tech heavy websites. Yeah.
no, for the functionality parts, actually I use Angular. So for the functionality parts, I can do it altering the HTML. So the difficult part, what I find is to just from the scratch doing the design in HTML CSS. So that is what I find it. So yeah,
Then
for that,
there's always WordPress for that.
sorry, I didn't get you.
There are always these website builders like WordPress and Wix for that, right?
Yeah, but I just wanted to know whether some tools are available to convert the designs to code. So,
I'm sorry, I'm not aware. I'm not aware of any software that completely allows you to accurately convert your design into
yeah,
web.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Okay, yeah. So thanks for the.
yeah, you're welcome.
Thanks.
Yeah, yeah. So I just wanted to ask that design process like taking up all the work at BlueLearn. Say you're making the UI as well, then designing social media posts or any other things. So how do you keep track of everything?
Um, for the post, right? After you wanna explain how we work on the Notion and plan everything,
Okay, so I'll start with how social media posts are designed. So we have a Notion where all our daily posts are like put up in a planner for the month. So I know which post is when and what time we're going to post it. And as for event posters, I have the details of Virat sends me the details for most of the posters. So then I take the details, I feed in I make the poster and then I put it up on the drive. Then I sent in the link, and then yeah, like that is how the process goes of like taking the order of the poster and like giving it back.
So every weekend, the whole social media team meets up on a Saturday or a Sunday, and the whole planning is done on Monday. We will post this post, and Tuesday we will post it, and the buffer kept like the space kept for any last moment posts and all also.
Everything organized on Notion that say someone adds the requirements and you just like complete that and give it to them.
Um, if like sometimes I curate my own post, so that goes a little differently. I do my research on the post and then design the post and then send it. But like if it's a direct like a event poster, for example, then all the details are given to me. So then I design the poster and then I upload it. So you can post it whenever.
Got you. Also, Virat, can you make few like Notion templates or something? Because I'm having a hard time creating stuff on Notion.
Notion templates for what?
See this design process or your ideation stuff or anything.
Bro, you know what you can do? Go to general chat right now. Go to the pinned messages. Scroll a bit. I have pinned 3 YouTube videos from Ali Abdal. Um, Wait, I'll just pin them again.
Uh,
These videos explain workflows, creative workflows, and all of that in a really great manner. So just go through these videos. That's how I learned most of. I mean, I'm not great at all, but that's how I did most of the stuff for BlueLearn. Um, yeah, just go to general chat, go to the pinned messages,
yeah.
and
I'll check that out. I'll check
yeah,
that out.
I pinned it again. So go through them again. Watch
Yes.
all the 3 videos because all of them are like really nice and will make you understand.
Cool, cool, cool.
Cool, man. Thanks for coming.
Yep. Yeah, thanks.
Um, Next, I've asked a couple of people. In the meantime, till we get new people, Vinit, there's people are asking. I'm not good at drawing and sketching thing, but I want to learn designing. So, uh, can they
Oh,
like how can they
to
go
be
about
able
it?
to design, this is a very simple. There's a very simple answer to this. To be able to design websites and even posters, you don't need to be good at drawing and sketching. You just need to be good at ideating. And if you can ideate, like if you can think of something, and you just have to draw a very rough, even if it is 10% as similar as your idea, and you that drawing the rough. You should see my sketches. My sketches are so horrible. They're
Same goes with mine. Like they are not very legible until I use a pencil and a ruler. Like until I have to present it, I won't use a ruler. But otherwise, they are really terrible.
exactly. So the drawing part is only for you to be able to put it on paper so that you don't forget it later. So, and then you convert those very rough drawings into a little better drawings, or maybe just convert them directly onto Figma and done. But like I would suggest first, if you're pitching it to someone, draw it on a piece of paper nicely, neatly, with rulers and all. You don't have to be good at drawing, but just draw it neatly and so that it's legible enough so for people to understand while you're explaining it to them. That's all.
Yep. Hello, hi. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was wondering how to make like a logo. I've been struggling upon this for a long time because I would walk you through what my problem is. So I've been designing posters and illustration for like almost 3 years now. So whenever it comes to logo, when people tell me to do a logo, the only problem that I have is to put more and more stuffs and the logo becomes clumsy.
Neither of us are anywhere close to being proficient in logo designing. I think we would be the like uh it'll be I don't think we are the right people to give you advice on logo. I think you have better experience since you've been working on illustrations and all for 3 years. You would have a better experience understanding this. But one thing is there are many logos which doesn't even make sense, and there's as like have you seen an academy logo? It's
Yeah,
it's a pen another blob. It's very
right.
simple. Sometimes your logo doesn't have to be meaningful, but so the way people remember logos is if it's very different, it should just be rememberable, or if it should be easily drawable. If you can draw the Nike symbol, anyone can draw it on the piece of paper, and that is what catches people's attention, or it makes people remember it. So logo is more of a image of your company, not image of your company, but something that people remember your brand by.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I think the best logos are if either you remember them if you see them once, or like they give you some really amazing message or something through the logo. Like otherwise, like I just remember the Unacademy logo because it's just like two blobs and I can remember it even if I see it once.
Exactly.
So simply, I think logos land the simplicity of it. Like if it's simple, you remember it faster. You'll recognize it faster if you see it somewhere. So yeah.
Wow, thanks. That was very helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. Uh-huh. And I would suggest is first okay. I This is one thing I would tell any beginner to start with is if you are beginning and you don't know where to start from, I would say just start replicating, copying websites. Pick a website you like, pick a brand you like, go to their website, and try to replicate it. Try to replicate it or try to redo their website from your angle, which where from the way you see would be a better way, because designers are always deep into it. So suppose you pick a Flipkart website. No, okay, Flipkart is a little too complicated. Say something simpler, Swiggy website. Uh, look at it and see where you can do better and try to replicate it, or even if you can't see anything, just try to do it exactly how it is, and there is so much you'll learn in that process. You'll see how text is supposed to be placed in left, like I think Swiggy has placed their text on the left side, and then they have a button on the main for hero section that's called the CTA, call to action button, and then they'll have a nav bar. So you learn all these things as you go. You will learn that you need to have a good, you need to have a very uncluttered nav bar. You need to have a very bright CTA. You need to have bold, catchy text. All of these things, as you copy, you learn, and then after a point, you just get used to this. You get very used to it, and then you can start developing your own design easily.
Okay, if you're starting off a design, I'll recommend you reading a lot, like apart from like copying other website, like that would be one of the steps. But I'll recommend reading a lot of blogs on UI, UX designing and how websites are designed. Like go through other websites like Behance, Dribble, and awards. Like just go through them, see how websites look, like artistic website, the normal e-commerce website. Just go through them, and then I think if you like go through multiple of them, you'll get a flow on how these websites are designed. Then you can start with your own process.
Okay.
Take care.
Hey guys,
Hey.
yeah. So my question is about UX. So do you guys use any design systems, or you create by elements by your own, like in Figma? That many people use Google Material, and Adobe
Oh,
Spectrum, because it
yeah.
is easier to implement in mobile app and front end, because there are ready-made available of the elements in the particular platform. So do you guys use that way, or you guys create your own element and then, yeah, that's the question.
No, for BlueLearn, we have created our own design system. We've created our whole own type scale, like typography scale, or even like, but the whole design system we've created on our own. But we've used the material.io ka pura guidelines. We've studied from it. We've studied from other design schemes also, but we've used that only for inspiration, and we've created our own.
Yeah, so means you have also created components in React and other libraries, or how did you implement it in website? Means from design to website.
Design. So how we design is we just create a set of types, like types of buttons and types of like there'll be a H1 will have suppose 32 pixel font with 700 boldness, and then that is used standardly everywhere, and then the body text will have 16 pixel for the website, and mobile view will have 14 pixels. So all of these standard things are created on Figma, and the front end developers, they created like they'll create their own system classes and all whatever in their code base, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Yeah. um we'll take one, two more questions. Yeah, cool. Are there any questions in chat?
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, may I ask? So I want to ask that should we create wireframes on paper, or is it feasible to create them digitally using Figma? Like which is
Mm.
more feasible according to
Oh,
you?
That completely depends on the designer on what you are comfortable with. But if you're talking about being more convenient for the whole team, I would say creating wireframes on something that can be shared easily digitally is more a better approach than sharing your drawings, right? Obviously, if you have your front end developer working in Mumbai and you're sitting in Goa designing, how else you send him? You can't send him pictures of your drawings. It'll be better if you send digital wireframes. But if you are comfortable, if you're able to think more clearly, or if you're more comfortable drawing, then go with that process. So it's your choice. It's a personal choice. When
Okay.
you pen and paper, it's much more, you're more connected to your thoughts. That is one thing.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
So,
Hello, is I am audible to you?
Yes.
Yeah, my topic is on this topic. So can I ask it? Hello.
Hello. Can you repeat the question?
Oh yeah, can I ask this today? Okay. And can I ask to the one question? Hello.
yeah, good.
Yeah, you all every day come here in the Discord, and how do you continue this? Every day I see you all on. What's your motivated and what's make you motivated to do all this continuously?
Um, to be motivated in the first place, you need to love what you're doing. So if you're not loving what you're doing, if you're not genuinely interested in what you're doing, you'll never be motivated. If you think your motivation lies, if you think you're not good at it, but you're really interested, you can always, and if you're genuinely motivated, you will always take efforts to study that topic and work on it and learn and start working on it, right? So if that's the question, then yeah, you need to like what you are doing, and then that brings in the motivation, I would say. Motivation is not a secondary thing.
Oh, thank you so much, and thank you to your team. You're helping us so much. BlueLearn. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah, yeah. Hey guys. Okay, so basically, I am in a marketing team, right? And the lead designer is like he has exams, so he's not being able to attend it. So I was like given the task of doing so, and I like being very familiar with Canvas, so I was using that. But he suggested me that I should change to Illustrator. Considering I don't have a lot of time, will it be a like wise decision to do that? Like, and how long
Like
will
I
it need to go
personally,
through?
okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I would personally like suggest to stick to Canva if you're like doing it for the short term and just because he is not able to do it. Like I think Illustrator would be a little difficult to start off randomly and to go ahead with designing. So Canva is a little easier for beginners like that. So you can either try out Canva, but I would say even Figma is easier to use, a lot easier than Illustrator for beginners. So yeah.
What are you planning on? What are you planning on work? What will be your work?
Okay, basically we are making posts for the like Instagram and then different social medias. So the point is like I have been making them for like MUN, so I know how to use Canva. But he's like, I should just shift to Illustrator. That will be like better for my future as well. The
Oh
only
yeah.
question I have it will it like take a lot of time because that is something which might be a problem. Or and on a
So
professional front, is that better? than Canva.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So learning anything is never going to be useless. And a software as big as Adobe Illustrator is never going to be useless because there are also the thing is what is more difficult, what is the toughest part of learning a software is being used, like getting hang of the whole UI, right? And once you are familiar with some sort of that UI, like Illustrator or XD or be it Figma, they all have a very similar kind of UI, or the way they are placed, things are placed in that, the tray, the tool, the everything is very similar. So I would suggest since you since you're not sure, start with like continue with Canva, but side by side keep learning Illustrator. It shouldn't take you much. It shouldn't take you long. Within like 10-15 days you should get a easy hang of, like you should easily be able to use it.
Okay, I thought it was like it will take me months, but if that is there, then I can go with it. Yeah,
No, it's very easy to use like that.
that
if
seems
if you're dedicated, you'll get very good hang of it within 3-4 days also, if you practice properly.
great. The only thing is Canva doesn't allow to like divide figures into three, so pictures into three. So I'll just shift to Illustrator. Thank you guys. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you.
For client, oh wait, what was the question? Only require web design and not? Oh. Oh, you'll find ton of them on these freelancing websites like Fiverr and freelancer.com. But if what would be a better way is no, I wouldn't say better way. What would be another way is on LinkedIn, just keep connecting, make lots of connections, and if you make 10,000 connections, out of that maybe 10, 2-3 of them will need some help somewhere, and you'll always be there. So I would say for me at least, and for Averal or for most of the whole team, it worked out through connections only. We were all friends with each other. We knew each other. We knew that I knew that Averal was good at making posters. Keenan knew I was good at designing stuff. So it all comes through referrals only. But these freelancing websites also work really well. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.